Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of Delevision. I've been doing a radio show for 4 or 5 years now, but I'm starting to like these TV tapings, or webisodes as I'm told they're called. Being on camera gives me an excuse to comb my hair. Anyway, between now and DelFest, we're going to bring you new episodes where we highlight one of this year's performers, and I get a chance to share with you what I like about them, and hopefully give you some insight into what makes each artist special and a good fit for the DelFest. I have to say I'm really excited about this week and the artist I get to start with. While we have a variety of different acts at DelFest, I've got a soft spot for the pioneers that we are able to share the stage with. Last year I had a blast singing with Bobby Osborne. This year I can't wait to pick a few with Jesse McReynolds. For those of you who aren't that familiar with Jesse, here's a little history. Jesse McReynolds and his brother Jim were born in Virginia back in the late 20s, and by the early 50s, they were already full-time bluegrass musicians and some of the first to make bluegrass records. They had a great sound built around Jesse's unique mandolin picking and lead singing, and Jim's strong rhythm guitar and beautiful tenor voice. I'm gonna make every girl in town jealous when she's around. I'm walking the line 'cause I'm glad that she's mine. I'm living in paradise. And they had some great musicians in their Virginia Boys band, like Jim Buchanan on fiddle and Alan Shelton and Bobby Thompson on the banjo. They were members of the Grand Ole Opry from 1964 on. Actually, I first met these guys just before this in 1963 at the Opry before they became members, and they were real favorites with country and bluegrass audiences through festival appearances, TV shows, radio airplay, and great albums too. They weren't afraid to be a little different either, like when they recorded a whole album of songs by a great rock and roll artist, Chuck Berry. Jim and Jesse were two of the earliest artists to go into the IBMA's Hall of Fame back in 1993, and they kept busy right up until Jim's death at the very end of 2002. Since then, Jesse's kept busy on his own, training new members of the Virginia Boys and the Jim and Jesse sound, but also going out on his own too and doing some new and different things. He made a great album with Bobby Osborne a few years ago, and one called Bending the Rules that got nominated for an IBMA award. And he's been out on the road enough to make even a young guy like me feel tired just thinking about it. The latest record that Jesse McReynolds recorded was a bunch of tunes from the Grateful Dead, and back several years ago he recorded with a rock and roll band called The Doors, and when he comes to DelFest, it's hard to say what he might play. He might even play bluegrass, but I'm sure whatever he does, it'll be good. I hope you enjoyed your bluegrass history lesson. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Delevision. Stay tuned, we'll be back soon with more.